So Ontario responded by slapping 25% surcharge on the electricity that it does supply to three U.S. states, and that would be Michigan, Minnesota, and New York. But Trump's not gonna really care because those are Democratic states. those, those are blue states.
I
Um,
also think, just on the other side of that, I think it's nominal. If you really want to go to a trade war and you cut power off for three states, I think the United States has uh, the the resources to supply power to those states if Canada really did cut off power to those states. I mean, it's 50 states here.
well, the thing is also um, that he still has supporters in those states. Just just because they're blue states, you can't. And that's the whole premise. You can't punish the whole state because it's blue or red, because you still have supporters in that state.
I
You
think
get what I'm
it's
saying? Like
yeah,
there's Trump supporters in the Chicago area.
yeah.
Like, so you can't punish Chicago because you still got supporters here,
But
especially like in
yeah.
Northwest Indiana.
Oh, yeah, 100. But that's not Chicago. That's Indiana. You know what I'm saying? Indiana's a red state. You know. But okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Okay, so people are buying Trader Joe eggs and hatching their own chickens to avoid rising egg prices.
Can you do that
So
with any
yes,
type of
now
eggs?
no, they have special eggs for hatching. They're called fertile eggs
And Trader
at
Joe's
Trader
sells
Joe.
those.
Yes.
Hmm, interesting.
Now you got Trump supporter Jim Cramer shredding Trump over the stock market free fall because the stock, when soon as these tariffs were announced, he says the market was doing great until the Trump administration showed us a level of uncertainty I haven't seen since Jimmy Carter. I cannot think of another president in my lifetime who could knock down the stock market simply by opening his mouth.
Hey, there it
So
is.
here we go. So Trump's tariff sparked a market meltdown. So the the stock market, it didn't crash, but it took a major hit yesterday
Hmm.
from Trump announcing his tariffs.
Yeah. I mean,
And
to me, and I'm not no super investor, but that's not necessarily telling of if the tariffs are going to work because the stock market is something that's off of speculation anyway. So when people like
correct.
anybody, Elon Musk could come out right now and be like, he'll say something wild and Tesla stock go down. So it's not necessarily saying that that's a bad business move, but I think uh, I think Trump is betting on America, and I would like to believe that America is strong enough to say if we go on a tariff war and cut all these
Well,
other
here's the
countries
problem.
off. I
You gotta
think
look at history. Tariffs were done two other times in history,
mhm,
and both of them caused the depression.
right, but here's the thing: we're at the top of the market on everything right now. The only way to come down is to depress the market. Now, I don't think he is purposely trying to depress the market, but I do think that he knows if it's his long term plan. And I'm not vouching for none of this. I'm just looking at it from the other side. Like it got to be a side that they looking at it that makes sense, right? In my estimation, I think it's just all how
No,
you
they're
look at it.
Michael, they're only doing this bullshit to allow billionaire tax cuts. So they're trying to come up with the money to do that.
Hmm.
That's all. This is all this boils down to be.
Okay.
Okay, so China was heading back with 34% tax on U.S. goods for the trade sanctions, the new tariffs. And China stuff was cheap. Now we gotta pay more for China stuff. That's not right.
Buy American stuff.
Well, America gets most of their stuff imported from
All
China.
we do is buy junk from China anyway. Every time something
I
break
don't.
in the house, I be like, damn, that shit from China.
But look, that's not our fault. Me and your fault.
Nah.
But that's how it is now. Anyway, so now Stellantis, the car maker, is now announcing layoffs of 900 workers amidst the tariffs that were announced. And Whirlpool is also laying off 651 workers in their Iowa plant due to the Trump cash and economy. Because that's what the economy is basically doing. It is crashing.
Man, I could think of worse things that could happen than the economy crashing.
I don't think it's going to affect black people that much because,
We've been
you
crashed.
know,
We've been in a crash
right.
mode.
We always crashing
If
out.
anything, we can come up when the market goes down. That's an opportunity for us to come up.
Correct.
But speaking of Chicago crashing out,